This SUV TV broadcast of the Jared Cook Tip-Off Classic is brought to you by Susan G. Komen, Greater Atlanta, Marathon Wealth, the Atlanta Hawks, Oaks Golf Course, and CBA Sports.
Hello and welcome into the SUV TV network. We're getting set for tip-off here between Pace Academy and St. Francis. Tons of stars between these two teams, several Division I players. First off, I'm Luke Winstall, joined by Coach Russ Triaga and Sly Williams. For Pace Academy, one of the highest-rated players in the country, Matthew Cleveland, a 4-star according to 24/7 Sports. Coach Russ, what makes him such a special player?
He's another one of those guys at the high school level that does everything. He can shoot it from the perimeter. He can score around the basket. He's a very good defender. He rebounds in all aspects of the game on the offensive end, defensive end, in his area, out of his area. He can play well in between the three-point line. So he has a well-rounded game. And I think the key tonight is if he can just stay out of foul trouble early on, I think he'll have a pretty good game tonight.
Sly, what have you seen from Matthew Cleveland throughout the year and throughout his career, now transferring into Pace Academy and playing for head coach Sharman White?
Hey, one thing I love about Matthew Cleveland is he is explosive. I remember calling a game on SUV TV. You can check out our archives in the Battle of Georgia. And Matthew Cleveland went up and dunked so high. He jumped so high and dunked on someone so bad. I felt bad for the other parents' whole family, the other kid's whole family. That's how hard he dunked on the kid. My goodness, Matthew Cleveland. But he has somebody across from him who can jump just as high and fly just as high as he can. That's that Dwon Odom. This thing should be special. And you know what? These people at North Gwinnett, they might need to invest in some new rims after tonight's game. they may need, the athletic director may not allow this tournament to go on any further for what these kids can do to the rims.
Yeah,
Dwon Odom is one of these guys who's as athletic as anybody you're going to see in Georgia high school. He's explosive from all parts of the floor, and when he gets to the rim, he is a finisher with a capital F.
No doubt, yeah. I can't talk about this game without Odom being involved, but also the 1-2 punches. Jashawn Holt for St. Francis, a big number 2 guy for Pace Academy.
Uh-oh,
here we go. Cole Middleton. Odom with a slam.
Just like that. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. It doesn't waste any time.
He got that big smile on his face, just like I like to start it.
The way to begin a game right there. Dwon Odom showing why he's got Russell Westbrook comparisons. This uber athletic Cleveland mid-range J. Back iron no good, rebounded by Pace Academy. I'm sorry, St. Francis. Odom down low. Holtz for 3. Pace Academy pushing the tempo. Here's 3-star Madison Durr.
Oh, travel.
Travel called on Josh Reed.
All day, every day. They're going to call that one. You know, that's when you get a player playing out on the perimeter who's not really – look at this. Look at Odom. Just 2 hands. And he makes it look easy, too, you know. God, I can swear that's a young version of myself out there down there. Man.
Three-pointer is good from Jordan Brown.
St. Francis loves to run a lot of false action opposite the ball, and they get you caught switching, and they get you a step late. They take a good angle, and they get a lot of open shots that way. Really nicely executed.
Durr working on Odom. Durr, nice move, floats it in.
You know, it's funny, we talk about the matchup of the players in this game. We talk about the matchup of the players, but we got 2 coaches on the sideline who know a little bit about winning.
Middleton inside for Pace, he's fouled.
You know, you got Coach Catlett over there. Coach Catlett, I think Coach Catlett has 2 state championships, maybe 3 state championships at St. Francis.
Yes, 2 as a head coach.
Yep, 2 as a head coach. 2 as a head coach. And then you got Sharman White with Pace Academy. Sharman, what more can you say about Sharman White? You know, 7 out of 8 state championships. That's pretty good. As a matter of fact, you check our SUV TV archives. What's the name of the SUV TV? The Miller Grove, Reclaiming the Crown. Check out Reclaiming the Crown as they highlight the Miller Grove, their 7th state championship. Great documentary put on by SUV TV. Reclaiming the Crown. The only negative, there were no cameos or close-ups of me. It's the only negative about the whole documentary.
Odom, long two, off the front rim. Holt with a rebound. Pump fakes on Durr. Holtz couldn't finish either. Durr on the left side. Durr fouled by Odom.
Now we've seen it about 4 or 5 times now. This floor looks like it might be getting a little slippery. I don't know if it's humid or still raining outside, but down here in the corner to our left and then right there in the middle of the lane, had players slipping most of the last 2 games.
You know what I don't see anymore? I remember growing up, there was always a little kid, somebody's little brother, who was on the baseline with a towel. You know?
Yep.
I don't see that anymore.
Well, a lot of these teams have gone to using the slip knot. I don't see either team that has it right now. It's a little device they put on there it is on the end of the bench or by the scorer's table that they step on. But humidity is humidity.
Yep.
Middleton inside. Slips in the lane. Travel called. Cole Middleton just about did a split there.
I tell you,
Might
man.
have hurt himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Stretch that groin out some, you know. And Cole Middleton, he's one of those guys I like to say he plays that grown man ball.
Yeah, look at that slip. Yeah.
He plays that grown man ball, kind of bully ball up underneath, man. Cole Middleton, he's a special guy, man.
Yeah, 6'6", great on the glass. Holt outside, three-pointer from Brown. Couldn't get it that time. Odom tipped it into Holt. Nice effort play. Talked about earlier in our broadcast, Odom and Holt, but Jordan Brown and Chase Ellis are 2 great complementary pieces. Odom off the mark on a three-pointer.
You see Pace time and time again backing off Dwon Odom, really making him in that situation where you got to prove that you can make that mid-range jump shot before we're going to go out there and risk guarding that athleticism.
Yes, sir. I know this isn't Missouri, but you got to show me.
Cleveland couldn't get a deep 3 to go. Ellis racing down the floor. Brown, corner 3. Yes, sir.
3-point field goal by number 23, Jordan Brown.
It's his second 3 of the night.
Brown has his team up 5. Durr looking for Middleton. Middleton inside, left-handed hook, off the mark. Middleton a rebound, putback won't go. A second rebound on the possession, and he's fouled.
He's just so strong down there, man. Middleton's strong. Like I say, man, he plays that grown man ball, man. He's a load down low.
So you see Pace Academy trying to run a high ball screen every time down, and they're trying to involve Dwon Odom in the high ball screen, trying to force a switch and get him off the ball. And that's a great idea, but the problem is Dwon Odom is just getting down and fighting over the screen with no switch. The next objective for Pace will probably be after that screen to go ahead and set a wide pin down, and they might be able to get a little curl action off of that on the other side of the floor, but they got to figure out a way to get Dwon Odom from engaging the ball.
What's so hard about that? You know, you hear some of the fans in the background talking about wipe the floor. Uh-oh.
Brown up top, Odom for a jam.
The high handoff to Dwon Odom.
Dwon Odom, 2 dunks, 4 points, 10 points for Pace Academy. They're up 7.
Yeah, and I got to go back to this floor issue, though. I don't think it's being unreasonable for Coach White to ask for that floor to be wiped.
Not at all.
That floor is wet. There's moisture on it. You don't want a kid to get hurt, and it's the responsibility here that the North Gwinnett crew needs to come out here and get that floor cleaned up. You don't want to see somebody get hurt playing a basketball game, and got to disagree with that referee for just telling him to live with it. It's not how it works.
It's dangerous, exactly. And Coach White in this timeout, we're still throwing a couple of words at the referee. I mean, you have to do it if you're a coach, right?
And knowing Coach White the way that I do, he's competitive as they get, but he's far from a complainer. He really doesn't say much to the referees. That isn't without merit, and I don't really think that's a big request to clean up the floor.
Yeah.
see Pace comes in with Justin Johnson. He'll help handle the ball some. He is awfully strong young man, just a junior.
Durr finds Middleton. Press broken.
You know what I love about that? It was no dribbles. Just all passes to break that press.
Absolutely.
And they got it to the man in the middle.
Middleton, now Cleveland. Cleveland muscles it up, couldn't connect. Ellis racing down the floor on the right side. He lays it up off the window, it won't fall.
The referees are certainly letting him play, huh, Sly?
Oh, yeah.
Durr skies in for a layup.
And you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all, man. You know, play through some contact a little bit.
Brown comes baseline, has it tipped away.
He's got a foul number 22. Justin Johnson is first. The team's first.
You got the corner sealed off for Odom. That's a nice pass.
Now Brown for three.
Oh,
Bingo.
Three-point field goal.
That's his third.
That's his third on the night.
You could just see a different flow in St. Francis offensively from last Saturday. And they played well last Saturday, but they look very comfortable at the offensive end, sharing the ball. Dwon, Odom distributing, scoring. Seem to be getting almost anything they want at this point in time.
Looking this comfortable in November. Middleton down low. Middleton in the post, waved off, offensive foul.
You know what I liked about that? Who's guarding him? Kai Simmons. Kai Simmons, he pushed him off of his spot. Middleton was a little bit further out than he would like to be, and that forced him to throw that little quick elbow in there to do that. You know, I like Middleton. And when Middleton gets down to that block, he's just such a man-child. It's hard to stop him down that low. But you see how they pushed him a little bit farther off his spot.
And I think the referee thought that he maybe hooked him with the elbow. Instead, he just stuck the elbow right in the middle of his chest. That's not really a foul.
Holtz.
Pace switched and went a little 2-3 zone there, Sly.
Brown to Holtz on the right side. He drives in the lane, and he puts it in for two.
St. Francis basket by number 4, Deshaun Holtz.
Holtz a four-star. Offers from UGA, Georgia Tech, and Washington. Durr gets inside and puts it in again.
Basket by number 3.
Sorry, Sly, that's a foul.
Yeah.
That's a foul.
Now, that's a foul. You know, I've been meaning to ask people. Oh, look at that.
Brown, 4 threes.
That's number 4.
Yeah, he's definitely very comfortable right now. See Dwon on him again, slipping underneath that screen so he can stay engaged with the ball. St. Francis has a really nice defensive game plan tonight.
The Knights put a shot up. Holtz with a rebound. That shot came from Reed. Brown, mid-range.
That's a heat check.
Oh, man, he's wet.
Go ahead and shoot it. Go ahead and shoot it, Brown.
14 points in the first quarter. Durr has 28 seconds to work with. Off the glass, no good. Odom dashes down the floor.
Oh, he found
Brown
him
for
again.
3. Off the mark, just off the heel. Here comes Durr.
Oh,
Blocked by Odom. How about that?
Big man should have fell down on that one. He might have got the charge.
Holtz for 3. That's the end of the first quarter. 20-7, St. Francis ahead.
You know,
Go ahead, Sly.
you know what? I'm surprised by the score, 20-7. I thought it would be a lot closer than this. You know, I was talking to Luke before the game. We were in the hospitality room, and I was saying that I thought St. Francis had better athletes, had better players, but I thought the players from Pace would definitely keep it a lot more competitive than what it is now. I didn't expect it to be a 13-point game.
Yeah, much of the same story as last Saturday with Pace. They really struggled early on. in the first half to get an offensive flow and a rhythm. They did catch it a little bit later on and got back in the game, but St. Francis is not a team that you want to be chasing by any stretch. Too many athletes, too many shot makers, and Dwon Odom is just going to hurt you every time he gets into the open court and has some space. So they got some things to clean up. It's just one quarter. There's a lot of basketball left, but it's going to have to start on the defensive end.
St. Francis looked so comfortable offensively, so settled in. They're good to go. I mean, if they were to keep this up, they'd be on pace for 80 points.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, I did it.
Oh, the old on pace thing flies.
Yep.
Hey, all you Atlanta Hawks fans out there, purchase your tickets today with an exclusive SUV TV offer for your Atlanta Hawks tickets today. Go to www.thesuvtv.com/Hawks to take advantage of your special discounted prices for basic to premium tickets. That's right, an exclusive offer to SUV TV viewers. Purchase the Atlanta Hawks tickets at, here's the alternate address, you can go to www.atlhawksgroups.com/thesuvtv. They're finally going to clean the floor.
Well, Coach Garner just came out and they went and got one of the dry mops, kind of walking it through the lane. The thing is there's just, I don't know how much you can actually do about it. It's the humidity that sets in. And it just makes that floor moist, and it's just tough. It happens in Georgia all the time in these early season games where it's still warm outside, where you get that moisture from the rain. It just makes it awfully tough to keep the floor dry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now Reed will inbound for Pace Academy. These two teams will get the second quarter underway. Pace Academy, a 20-9 record a season ago. They were ranked number 71 in Georgia. St. Francis won the 1A Private State Championship. 28-4 was their record. Both teams put together spectacular campaigns a year ago. St. Francis looking to repeat. Pace Academy looking to prove themselves as title contenders in 3A. Odom, breakaway. He jams it home. Dwon Odom. Oh my gosh. Here's Odom again.
Got him again.
Odom to Ellis. Out of bounds on Pace Academy.
Good smart play there by Justin Johnson. Take that ball right out of bounds.
Look at him just in the passing lane right there. Oh, man.
So this goes back to what I was saying earlier as you see him finish this dunk.
Oh.
They want to get him off of the ball and get him away from the ball, but he does such a good job of handling screens and such that it's very difficult to do that.
It's up ahead to Adams. He'll lay it in with his right hand.
Pace Academy basket by number 0, George Adams.
Ellis, one of the big complementary pieces for St. Francis. Odom long two. Rebounded by Cleveland. Cleveland, 13-footer falls.
Nice pull up. Good decision in transition there.
Exactly. Just stopping on the dime, the old jump stop.
Three-pointer coming from one of the bigs, Ty Simmons. Rebounded and put in by Ellis.
St. Francis basket by number 24, Chase Ellis.
It's 24-11, a 13-point lead for the defending 1A private champs. Adams spins on the baseline, turns it over.
That's a
Ellis.
smart play to pull that out.
Ellis spins in the lane. Nice touch for the finish.
You're getting a really good display of why St. Francis is the state champion. You got Odom doing his thing. You got Brown knocking down jump shots. In that last possession, they didn't force it ahead to Odom. Brown caught it on the wing, wasn't a good look, pitched it back, and the next guy did his thing. That's what championship teams are made of right there.
seems like for St. Francis, almost every player on the floor has been a threat offensively.
They're doing a tremendous job on the defensive end. If there was a shot clock in this quarter, we'd have a violation, at least 2 of them.
Reed.
And look at that.
Charge taken.
Great defensive position right there. That's great team defense. To step up, funnel your man into the man, and let him step up and take the charge. That's just great team defense.
Yeah, an off-ball charge.
Foul number 30, Josh Reed is first, the team's third.
Pace has got to be careful here that this doesn't get away from him.
15-point game, man. It could get ugly.
Odom directing traffic. 3 minutes into quarter number 2.
You know, here's the thing. It's a 15-point game, and Holt's been relatively quiet. Deshaun Holt only has 2 points. And look
Here's
at
Holtz laying it in.
Look at it. He heard me talking about it.
He said, wait a second, I only got 2 points. Give me that ball.
Now a 17-point game. We haven't seen much from Matthew Cleveland yet, especially considering he's a 4-star, number 41 player in the country. Adams fouled.
And you know, if you listen to our For the Love of the Game podcast, the podcast come on every week on SUV TV. One of the coaches, Coach Bryce, I forget Coach Bryce's last name, or maybe Bryce is his last name. Bryce is his last name. But he always says, if the game isn't working for you on offense, touch the ball. Just touch the ball. Go and get a rebound. Go and get a rebound. Go and get a steal. Do something else besides scoring, and then your scoring will come to you. And I think that's what I think that's what Cleveland has to do. Cleveland, his first step, he needs to go and get a rebound, and then build from there.
Odom stops and pops.
And maybe play defense on Odom. Maybe stop Odom from shooting that jumper.
Well, this is the situation here when you're Pace and you get down by 19 points here in the second quarter. You just got to keep working on the offensive end until it comes. But what matters right now is that you continue to defend, and you don't let the lead get so far that when you do make a run, it's kind of irrelevant. So you got to do a good job of, continuing to defend and really trying to limit opportunities for St. Francis. But they're in such a rhythm right now.
Here's Odom. Holtz, corner 3. Couldn't get it. Durr.
Got the illegal carry. But again, this is another part of Dwon Odom's game that doesn't go in the stat sheet. He is so hard to penetrate against that you're constantly being able to play defense with 5 guys because he can shut off the ball handler and keep him going sideways. Never put your defense under duress.
And one thing about Odom, I think Odom is maybe 6'2"? Maybe
yeah, right around 6'2".
But look at his arms. Look how long he is. You talk about getting around him and, not letting people penetrate. He's long,
And plays with a good understanding of the game. He knows exactly what he wants to do or what he's trying to do, and he knows, how to go about doing that.
Briggs up to Odom. 3 minutes to go until the half.
Yeah, they don't respect that jump shot at all, though.
No.
Well, Odom hasn't even been hitting from mid-range, really. At least not the long 2s.
Yeah, I think there's a few coaches at Xavier say we could fix that. With about 1,000 shots a day.
Cleveland, way strong on the 3. Odom lost possession. It's hauled up to Middleton. Middleton in the lane. Couldn't finish. Cleveland picks it off. Matthew Cleveland slams it home.
Pace Academy basketball number 35, Matthew Cleveland.
Cleveland turning defense into offense on that possession.
He needs to do that about 5 more times.
Now let's see if that energizes our pace a little bit. Let's see what happens.
St. Francis's ball movement and player movement is just really crisp tonight.
Ellis Cleveland on the left side. They wave off the shot. Foul on the floor.
Cleveland wanted the continuation. You got to wait a couple more years for that one.
His first, the team's fifth.
You can see Holt tags him early, right on the move. Fouls right there. An extra step.
Durr in the corner. Cleveland down low, jams it.
Pace Academy basketball number 35, Matthew Cleveland.
Holtz on the right side. Ellis charges in the lane and lays it in.
St. Francis basketball number 24, Chase
Once again, St. Francis gets down in the middle of the lane. No help. No help at all for Pace.
Durr works right, muscles it up, it won't fall. Out of bounds.
I wonder if Durr is related to somebody. I don't know if you remember. It was a Durr who used to play for Westlake. This was some years ago. I wonder if that's his little brother or something. Who knows?
Don't know.
Three-pointer on the way, no good.
If I'm not mistaken, Madison Durr started his career at St. Francis, didn't he?
He did, he transferred. Yeah. Holtz around the rim and out. Yeah, Durr was at St. Francis his freshman year, then transferred into Pace Academy for his sophomore year, now in his junior year. Part of the reason Durr transferred, I think, would be Coach Sharman White coaching him up.
That might make a player or two leave from the States.
Yeah, I would think so. Josh Reed gets that shot to fall. Odom, 30 seconds to go in the half, and he'll hold it for the last shot.
Where's the shot clock?
Yeah.
Would come in handy right about now. The arena here at North Gwinnett goes silent. Odom just keeping a slow dribble. 7 seconds to go. Odom, mid-range J. Now he gets one. Well, at the half, it'll be a 17-point lead for St. Francis. Your halftime thoughts. First off, Sly, what did you think about that first half? St. Francis looking great.
Totally shocked. Totally shocked. I never would have thought that St. Francis would have doubled up Pace Academy. I didn't see the double up coming. Not like this, not by a long shot. But St. Francis is doing everything right. You know, they have great team defense. They're running on offense. They're being aggressive going to the hole, and that's why they're up by 17 points.
Yeah, it's not often you see a Sharman White coach team get handled like that in a whole half. Time to time, people can put runs on them, but they were completely manhandled for 16 minutes. I'm sure Coach White's going to make some adjustments at halftime, and I'm sure St. Francis is in there saying, hey, there's another 16 minutes. We got to go play the full 32, but if they play the second 16 like they played the first 16, they're going to win this game going away.
If you're Coach White, what adjustments are you trying to make at halftime?
So you have to decide what you want to take away on the offensive end first. When Brown gets going and starts making threes, one after another, you begin to focus on him, and then you open up places for Odom. So first thing I would do is you want to kind of pinch Odom when he gets into the front court, keep him in front of you, and get him to make the ball move out to the wing. Once it gets to the wing, you got to do a really, really good job of keeping the ball on one side of the court. Those are the first two things you can do. At the offensive end, to stop transitions, two things you can do. One, get points, get the ball coming out of the basket, or get to the rim and get to the free throw line. Referees are not calling a whole lot of fouls. They're going to let the kids decide the game, so that makes it even a little tougher on Pace.
We'll see you back in 8 minutes here on the SUV TV network alongside Sly Williams and Coach Russ Triaga. I'm Luke Winstall. Thank you all for tuning in.
Marathon Wealth is proud to be a true registered investment advisor. We're acting in our clients' best interest at all times. Contact us today for all your investment or retirement planning needs. Visit mymarathonwealth.com or email us at info@mymarathonwealth.com. If you're not sure how to invest, let us help you get started today. Visit mymarathonwealth.com or email us at info@mymarathonwealth.com.
This SUV TV broadcast of the Jared Cook Tip-Off Classic is brought to you by Susan G. Komen, Greater Atlanta, Marathon Wealth, the Atlanta Hawks, Oaks Golf Course, and CBA Sports.
The stock market on a rocket ride, blasting through a ceiling and closing at an all-time high.
Cheers of joy on the trading floor.
The internet revolution and the rise and fall of the internet stock bubble has become one of the most dramatic business stories of our time. In April of 2000, the bubble burst when the NASDAQ collapsed and dozens of dot-coms folded, losing billions.
If I'd have taken your advice at any point in the last 2 or 3 years, I'd have lost a fortune.
And a huge percentage of jobs created has been because of the housing boom, whether it's construction, whether it's mortgage.
Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money out. This is risk. If there's one takeaway other than
$29.75 today, with Wall Street shaken to its very foundation. $1 in market value today alone. The numbers even more dramatic when you're looking at the over 3 years. There it is, down.
Tamara Brown with SUV TV at the CP3 Rising Stars Camp.
SUV TV's 2019 NBA Draft Day coverage.
Anthony Edwards Collegiate Decision presented by the Georgia Hoop Circle on SUV TV.
SUV TV brings the game to the audience.
You give a better focus on the actual game at hand. Sometimes you could tell it's just a running camera by itself sitting there, but with SUV TV, it's more of a personal experience.
Just the exposure, being able to see games that you normally wouldn't be able to see, not only here locally, but across the country.
Those angles make you pick up different things as a coach, as an evaluator. They're giving you great quality, nobody talking in the background. I think it brings basketball to the forefront.
Whether it's a family member that lives in a different state, they can watch the game, or just bringing in more coverage for these players, or if it just allows us to raise more money for something like Susan G. Komen. And so I think this event has grown because you guys have been a part of it the whole entire time.
SUV TV has given a different light to kids that don't always get the best exposure.
The commentary that goes along with the games, I think, is always interesting.
Touchdown.
Oh! Yes, sir. It brings something to the table that no other streaming aspect can bring, no matter how hard they try right now.
Game time, Avian Williamson at the buzzer. That is how you get the Peachtree Corners Invitational started. And that will do it. Thanks for joining us.
The 360, and he throws it down.
He'll come off the double screen to the left. Oh, and wide open underneath. Sexton going to step back, fade away three.
Oh, my goodness! Colin Sexton!
In the lane by Tracy. Here's Williamson, makes his way around one tight. Now hustling in towards the lane and throws it down. That's what the crowd had been waiting on. A fantastic dunk coming in by Williamson. Trent, off-balance jumper.
Nailed it. Pierre to Gary Trent Jr. Oh my goodness. That's how you end the game, folks.
Welcome back into the SUV TV's coverage of the Jared Cook Tip-Off Classic here from North Gwinnett High School. St. Francis doubling the score of Pace Academy at the half, 34-17. We'll see how the Knights respond. St. Francis came out looking fantastic, both offensively and defensively in the first half.
Yeah, I'm sure they're looking to just continue and do more of the same. They can lean on a couple of guys that they know have been through all this many, many times before, and Pace needs a lift, a shot of energy, some things to go right, and claw their way back into the game.
Dwon Odom on the ball had 10 points off of 3 dunks in the first half. Brown, who had 14 all in the first quarter, misses that shot. Matthew Cleveland tried a Euro step, blocking foul called. They do count the basket.
Now that's a good start of the half from Matt Cleveland right there. You know, just to get the ball to drop, just to get that first basket to go in. You don't understand how big that is for a player.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. That's a really good call. Player was clearly moving to his right, And Matthew Cleveland did a good job keeping the ball up so he get the opportunity to finish that. Much needed. He now has got to get the free throw and get all 3 of them.
Now we've got a towel with Cleveland wiping up the floor before his free throw attempts. Cleveland now has 8 points on the evening. That does lead the Pace Academy team. Madison Durr has 6.
But you can see, if you just look at the floor, even on the screen, you can see the moisture. Doing a good job getting it dried up.
One thing,
you know, I like Matthew Cleveland, man. He's a man who takes care of business, takes it in his own hands.
Yep.
He doesn't wait for anybody to take care of it for him, man.
Well, he's a really good basketball player, so I'm sure he's not really thrilled the way he played in the first half, nor his team. So you'll see the best of him in the second half here.
Cleveland now with 9. Transfer from Cambridge. Odom. Ellis tried to drive.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. And you know, my granddaddy used to tell me the only way you can take down a tree is one swing at a time, you know, one chop at a time. And that's what Pace has to do. One chop at a time, one stop at a time, one defensive stop, one basket. One defensive stop, one basket. That's how you cut into this league.
Cleveland puts it up, foul called on the shot.
So again, taking it hard off the dribble, trying to get to the rim, does a nice job keeping his balance and getting this to the rim. They need to do a whole lot more of this. Yeah, we're going to have plenty of time to talk in this half of them drying up the floor on every stoppage. But there's twofold here for the reason why this works for them. One, get some easy points here at the free throw line where they're going to be able to get back and play defense with all 5. But the other thing is it starts to build a team foul count early in the second half. And if you're Pace, you really want to get to that bonus here by the end of the third quarter so that any loose ball, anything that bounces your way, you're shooting free throws the whole fourth quarter.
But you got to hit these.
Cleveland missed both free throws. Reed had the rebound.
Yeah, you got to hit the free throws. Got to hit the freebies. You know, they're putting you on the line, giving you free opportunities. You got to make them count.
One thing I'm looking for in the second half is more of Cole Middleton. He's got 1 point off of a free throw. Shot made there by Ellis.
One of the things Pace is not doing on the defensive end is they're waiting for the St. Francis player with the ball to get too deep in the paint before there's any body contact. And at that point, it's too late. They're already in a position where they can get their balance and shoot comfortably.
Middleton lost it inside. Brown goes behind the back on Durr. Brown in the lane, blocked by Reed. Here comes Cleveland running the break. Cleveland, acrobatic lay-in. 14-point game.
Just like that, 5 points in the quarter for Cleveland, just that fast. Less than 2 minutes in pass.
Dwon Odom puts it in. Count it and 1.
Dwon Odom is a walking run stopper.
Explain what you mean by that.
You know, when anytime a team starts to feel good about themselves and get on a run and start doing something positive, you just put the ball in the hand of Dwon Odom, and he's going to hurt some feelings. He's going to say, hey, slow up a little bit. It's still my game. I'm still in control.
Xavier Commit hits a free throw. Respected around the state as a scorer and an enforcer defensively. I've seen a lot of him kind of going at Durr or whoever's been on the ball. Cleveland versus Holt in this matchup. A couple of future Division I players. Holt with the rebound. Holt gets all the way to the rim and lays it up and in.
Now here's the thing Cleveland has to be careful for. He wants to get himself back into the game, and the only way you get back in the game is to score. But you got to make sure you don't force baskets.
Shot doesn't go for Cleveland. Odom racing down the floor in a jam. Kai Simmons put it home. There's Odom thriving in transition.
I'm just enjoying watching the show right now. St. Francis is just taking him behind the woodshed right now.
I was told coming in there's no way St. Francis loses Minnenberg off on that shot, loses if the game gets fast-paced in a transition type. We haven't really had that today, but they've just dominated in the half court, and now you see them get into transition, and Odom does what he does best.
So this is just experience right here. That's just, that young man's played a lot of basketball, and he understands what floor spacing is, and he understands where to deliver that ball to make sure they get their points out of it. Now they're going back to their 1-4 high set with a little scissors cut. We've been very, very successful off of this.
Odom goes right. Off the glass, it's tipped back up into the air by Simmons, brought down, and now Pace Academy with Madison Durr. Durr goes up from the left side, off the mark. Ellis pushing the tempo. Odom, triple, couldn't get it. Simmons missed on that shot, now Durr. In transition, Durr takes on Odom. Cleveland tips it in. Cleveland now in double figures with 11.
St. Francis needs to put 3 or 4 stops together. Or Pace needs to put 3 or 4 stops together.
Correction, Cleveland now has 13. Simmons down low, scoops it in.
St. Francis basketball number 21, Thomas Simmons.
Nice work by the big man. You know, when you have just great guard play like St. Francis has, you need to have a big guy down there who can at least do something.
Shot fired in, connected on by Justin Johnson. It's down to 19. Odom penetrates and spins. Minnenberg, Johnson, right-handed layup misses, but Cleveland with a follow.
Now Johnson's going to tell you that was the alley. He designed it that way.
Well, Cleveland does have 9 points in the second half. Just 5 minutes in, Cleveland has 9 points. He's done almost everything for Pace Academy.
This is a really good timeout right here by Coach Catlett. They strung together a couple of buckets, got it down to 17. He knows he's got about 3 minutes here to go in this quarter. Does not want his team to lose his composure. Does not want them to start taking bad shots and figure out ways to get Pace Academy back in the game. He's going to regroup them. He's talking to them all. Right now, he's giving it to them pretty good, too. Just regroup. Let's make sure we get a good look on this possession. Get back into the way we were playing earlier. And it's just a matter of, hey, look at me. This is what's going on. You can be your worst enemy here, or you can just go ahead and close this game out.
Hey, for all you fans out there, you can watch SUV TV whenever and wherever you want. Streaming live and on demand, the SUV TV app is available on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. You can also visit www.thesuvtv.com to watch full game broadcasts, replays, and select original content.
Minnenberg to Cleveland. Cleveland puts it in. He's got 17. He's got double figures now in the second half. That's the Matt Cleveland we're used to seeing.
But here's the thing, somebody else has to score. Somebody else has to make themselves available and make themselves just open to score. You know, pretty soon Cleveland can't score 15 and hold them by themselves, you know, for the next couple of possessions.
Cleveland has 17 of his team's 30 points. Brown for 3. He gets it to go. That's his 5th of the game. He's got 17. 14 of those came in the first quarter.
Like I was saying earlier, Sly, that's the problem with getting far behind. You make a little run, you start scoring points, and then he hits that 3, and before you know, you're right back sitting at 18 again.
Exactly, just like that fast, that quick, and in a hurry.
Cole Middleton got that basket and one. Another look at it. Nice spin, just textbook post move, good finish.
See, this is what I don't understand about the refs. He did that early in the first half, and they called the foul on him.
Right.
Now they let him play, you know. This is my thing. Refs, you got to let these kids play, man. Let them play.
After the 3-point play, it's a 15-point game. Holtz tried to get it in for Odom. Trying to whiz it in the lane there.
You know, nice cut and a good idea, just missed on the pass.
Dr. Trek, where do you see on the next level Odom playing? Does he play point guard or does he play off guard on the next level?
Well, Coach LeBerry and I had this conversation last Saturday. So I think we've come to this point in time in basketball. Who really cares what position you play?
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is just a terrific player. He does a lot of things well. Is he your prototypical point guard? But what does that even mean anymore? And who cares what it means? He handles the ball. He can score. He's terrific in transition. He's an outstanding defender. If they want to say he's the point guard, say he's the point guard. They want to say he's the two guard. Say whatever you want, but he's going to be on the floor.
It's inside for Ellis. He is hacked by Cleveland. Foul called. Now back on the other end of the floor, Cole Middleton got a bucket. He's got 5 points in the past minute and a half.
And just finishing on that thought slide, that's the beauty of basketball. That's what makes basketball, like, you're a football, you love football. And there's very, very few teams that are really good without a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like if you talk about playing in the NFL, if you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to win more than 8 games. I don't care how good your team is. I don't care what your personnel is. If you don't have a quarterback, well, basketball's not that way. You need 5 players, and however they fit together and however they piece together and however they fulfill roles and objectives to win in the games, that's what makes the game of basketball a little bit different. Of course, now in basketball, the same players play offense and defense, which is a little bit different than football. But what I'm saying is that there's just not that high priority on that one singular position where you might have a great offensive line, but if you can't throw the ball, there's going to be 9 guys in the box, and you're not going to run the ball either. So that's where basketball's a little bit different. So I'm not going to pigeonhole Dwon Odom into everything. I love watching him play. He's a terrific player. He's a terrific kid, highly competitive. You'd be hard-pressed to find a bad thing about him.
You know, positionless basketball, I often tell people I'm about 20 years too late. I'm about 20 years too late. 20 years ago, oh, nice move on the inside by Durr.
Durr gets it and one.
You know, 20 years ago, there wasn't a lot of people checking for a 5'11" power forward on the next level, Coach. You know,
you go back 20 years in basketball, and they were telling you, you know, don't throw a cross-court pass. You know, don't do that against a zone. That's just nonsense. That's a great basketball play when you're strong enough to do that. And when you go out here and you look and see what the game of basketball's evolved to, and you look at the level of play that's on a high school basketball court right here, more of these kids will play college basketball than won't.
Yeah.
We've got at least 5 kids that will be playing Division I basketball between the 2 teams.
And I can tell you the Justin Johnson kid right down there, he'll be a college football player. He's a terrific athlete.
He keeps shooting like this, he might step onto the basketball court. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Jordan Brown, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. No,
Justin Johnson, yeah.
Justin Johnson's a kid who played in a football playoff game a week ago Friday and was out playing on Saturday in their game and played about 12 minutes in that game.
Very impressive. Adams.
But once again, though, you bring back my thing. I'm such a proponent of multiple sports. You know, you look at Justin Johnson, you know he isn't a basketball player, but yet he's a football player who brings that toughness, you know, to the basketball court. He stays in shape in his off season by playing basketball. And you know, sometimes on a basketball team, you just need that physical football player on your basketball team. You just need it.
And knowing the kid as I do, he brings other things too. He's a part of a team. All he wants to do is whatever he can do to help the team win.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of kid that he is. And every high school basketball team needs those
You
kids.
need that.
And everyone needs that number 1 too. Everybody needs one of those guys too.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Just hard to find him. Odom getting 2 free throws here.
Doesn't hurt to have a Dwon Odom on the court.
Not one bit.
Meanwhile, they've chipped back away, got it down to 11 points here right at the end of the quarter. So even if they go in down 13 here at the end of the third, it's still manageable. They don't have a ton of time to get back in the game, I would guess, before St. Francis really begins to spread them out. But they're in a better spot than they were at halftime and have played much better.
Cleveland heaves it up the last second over the backboard. That will do it for the third quarter, 51-38.
Marathon Wealth is proud to be a true registered investment advisor. We are fiduciary and act in our clients' best interests at all times. Contact us today for all your investment or retirement planning needs. Visit www.mymarathonwealth.com or email us at info@mymarathonwealth.com. Marathon Wealth. If you're not sure how to invest, let us help you get started today. Visit mymarathonwealth.com or email at info@mymarathonwealth.com. And attention all you parents out there, all you parents, join the SUV TV Parent Perks program today. Just email info@thesuvtv.com to enroll and to complete a short survey in order to receive a free digital copy of your player's game, special discounts, and offers, or more, and more. That is the SUVTV Parent Perks program.
So it's going to be Pace Academy ball coming out here to start the fourth quarter. They're down 13. They chipped away at it. They were down 17 at the half. See if they can get a bucket here to start, get that momentum going back in their way. Claw their way back into it. Be interesting. Good test here for Pace Academy.
That first possession of the quarter is always the most important.
Absolutely. Oftentimes it sets the tone.
Now Cleveland will inbound for Pace Academy. Middleton pulls up from three. Nothing but net. 10-point game now, guys. Holt in the lane. Lays it in. Quick bucket for St. Francis.
St. Francis just does a great job of answering.
Cleveland couldn't get that shot to fall.
Ooh,
whoa,
my goodness.
Dwon Odom breaking ankles.
Oh!
Layup from the left side goes. Oh my gosh.
Dwon Odom takes two players out.
With one move. Oh, that was nasty. Yeah. Right in front of us, too. Cleveland spins. Couldn't get the follow. Middleton off the mark. Middleton finally gets it to go.
His basket by number 24, Cole Middleton.
He's had a much better second half. I believe 7 points for him in the second half. Ellis in the lane, spins, gets it to fall.
Trading baskets is not the answer for Pace.
Durr inside, charge.
That's referee Willie Anderson jumping in on that one. Calling the charge from the outside. Take a look at the replay. Oh, this is the oh my goodness.
Oh, you got Durr and Johnson. Nice little lay-in.
And then goes ahead and finishes underneath.
Odom energizing that St. Francis crowd. He's been doing it ever since the tip-off.
Of his 9th grade year.
Yeah.
It's 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember when he came on the scene as a 9th grader. I was like, who in the world is this kid?
I remember when he was in the 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
Playing Gwinnett, GBL. Just killing people. Scoring 30 points a half by himself. It's funny.
Brown. Now Ellis with it. 2 minutes into the fourth. Ellis in the lane, puts it in.
Basket by number 24, Jason Ellis.
Cleveland surveying his options. Cleveland, right-handed layup.
If you're Pace, you need to stop right now. Just one stop and get you started.
Down 14. Clock is ticking. 5.5 minutes left. Holt down low. Holtz had it deflected. St. Francis looking for a call. Cleveland touches it in.
Yeah, got it back to 12 again. 3 minutes into the quarter, got it back to 12.
Now, if you're pace, you just need one stop.
Cleveland, go ahead, Sly.
No, just saying, if you're pace, you just need a stop.
Holtz in the corner. Cleveland now over 20 points. Only had 6 in the first half. Odom spins in the lane, falls away. Here comes Durr.
Why y'all stopping back there?
Middleton steps out of bounds.
We'll see the replay on that one.
No wasted possessions. You can't have any wasted possessions.
Yeah, sure did.
He was way out of bounds.
Sure did. I thought maybe he had let that ball go before that foot came down. That was clearly wrong.
Now a full timeout called by head coach Sharman White of Pace Academy. 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. 12-point game.
So you got problems on top of problems here, because now you're going to have to come and press. The downside of that is you're pressing Dwon
yeah,
and a bunch of experienced players. So that doesn't always fare well. So I think what you kind of want to make sure you do is that you have some form of containment and you're not completely reckless with it. Still a couple of fouls away from the bonus. That's another option. Make them shoot their one-on-ones here at about the 3-minute mark. The unfortunate part is, you've really come out and scored the ball well in the second half. You dug that hole so deep. That 17-point lead, you needed to have that around 10. So when you surged, you were right back in the game. So they're still in chase mode. I'm interested to see what kind of pressure Coach White comes out with.
and another thing, Pace Academy only has one three-pointer tonight. From downtown, they aren't closing the gap from shooting it long, So if you're not going to get stops on every time down, at least can hit a three, so you're not just trading baskets like that.
Looks like we're going 1-2-2 half court. So this would lend yourself to traps up at half and in the corners. That ball goes to the corner, you'll get your trap. Francis going to weave it a little bit, be nice and patient. They're waiting for a back cut off the midline here. They're in complete control. Like Coach White is just out there saying, I need a shot clock. And you just see him, shot clock, shot. You can hear him saying it.
Much needed in the GHSA. 9 states have done it across the country. The GHSA did it for the first time in the Hawks Naismith Classic. It's lobbed up. Holtz tried to go for it. Brown short on the bucket. That took about a minute off the clock on that possession, maybe a little more.
You know what? Even though they didn't score, that was still a great possession.
Absolutely.
They were patient, took a whole minute off the clock.
Durr fouled by Holtz.
St. Francis on number 4 is
We got about 3.5 minutes left. Pace is at the line to get a chance to cut it back to 10. But again, you're in a really tough spot. You're going to have to come out and chase. And you're coming out and chasing maybe the most athletic perimeter guy in Georgia, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Do you start fouling now?
That's what I was thinking before, that if you're going to go ahead and roll the dice for it, you got a foul to give, go ahead and give it. I don't know that you want to put Odom at the line. I mean, I'm sure the Pace Academy staff has stats over there about who to foul. But that's always a risky proposition and much easier said than done.
Free throw off from Durr. Odom dashing down the floor in transition. Couldn't finish at the rim. Here comes Cleveland charging the other direction.
Oh, you got to get a ball up. You got to give it up, man. That was a chance to get into single digits.
Sure was.
Brown rifles it down to Holtz.
Coach Catlin knows what he wants. He is certain to let him know what he wants on each possession.
Odom in and out on the layup. Durr. Durr up again. Holtz on the right side.
God, that wasn't a foul either.
Here comes Cole Middleton with a flush.
All right, they got it to 9. 2:25 to go.
Now, see, I'm a believer in the goon squad right here. You know, you bring the last 5 people on your bench, the last four people on your bench. You pull them up to the scorer's table, and their job is to go in, pick up a foul, and then bring the starters back in the game.
Yep. I love you, but you're talking crazy now.
Hey, right now, I'm telling you, this is it. No, I'm talking about to pick up a foul, stop the clock, make them shoot the ball. Hey, that's their job. Their job is to come in the game, foul, and then your starters come right back in the game when the team's shooting a free throw. Play offense, defense.
What if they throw it in and get a layup before you can foul? Now you got those 5 stuck on offense.
Hey, man. What if you get hit by a bus when you walk out the house tomorrow? Life's a risk. Life's a risk, man. You're down by 9 with 2 minutes left. You got to take some chances.
I don't think you have anybody in that much foul trouble that they can't get fouls out here right now.
You got to take some chances, man. Bring in my goon squad. That's your job. Your job is to foul.
They station Odom right in the middle of the lane.
Holtz with a jam. 11-point ball game, Cleveland. Got a foul called on Holtz.
I think this is about as complete of a game as a team could play. St. Francis in the month of November. At this level of competition, they've just done so many things well. I know Coach Catlett will find something, to work on out of it, but there's got to be a lot that he's really pleased with.
St. Francis calls the timeout. We've got 1 minute and 54 seconds to go in quarter number 4. It's an 11-point lead for the visiting team.
Marathon Wealth. If you're not sure how to invest, let us help you get started today. Visit www.mymarathonwealth.com or email us at info@mymarathonwealth.com. You can watch SUV TV anytime, anywhere. Watch SUV TV whenever and wherever you want. Streaming live and on demand. The SUV TV app is available on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. You can also visit www.thesuvtv.com to watch full game broadcasts, replays, and select original content.
Cleveland will inbound for Pace Academy.
Pace isn't in the position to be holding the ball right now. They have to make some moves to the basket.
Menenberg. Middleton swatted away, but a foul called.
Got a comedy show going on behind us, guys.
I'm telling you, man. Some of the crowd participation going on, man.
Foul called on Kai Simmons.
Got the Kings of Comedy sitting behind us.
I have to say that was pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Might be a touch inappropriate, but it was still funny.
They've been going at it the whole game. Middleton couldn't connect on the first free throw.
And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I guarantee you Pacers probably missed about eight or 9 free throws.
It was much of the same last week, too. They really struggled from the free throw line.
You saw guys like Matthew Cleveland miss both in certain trips.
You got to hit. If you want to be a championship team, you got to hit free throws. If you want to beat a championship team, you definitely have to hit free throws.
St. Francis defending 1A private champs, up 11 here. Pace Academy with Matthew Cleveland to lay in. He is well past the 20-point mark, and we've got a timeout called by Pace Academy as we're back to a 9-point ball game.
You looking at me?
Yeah, Coach Russ, I was going to ask you.
It's now a matter of you got to foul right when the ball comes in. I don't think you've been productive enough in the backcourt with pressure that you even burn the 10 seconds to try and get the 10-second count. As much as you probably don't want to foul Dwon Odom, you probably run 2 guys at him, make him get the ball out of his hands, and then go ahead and foul that next pass. It'll probably be the wisest thing to do, but you just can't let time go off the clock now. Like Sly mentioned earlier, I think it was like the 4:3:28 mark. It's a possession. St. Francis got no points, but they held the ball for about 45 seconds.
Once again, Coach Goon Squad. Bring in that Goon Squad, the last 4 people on your bench. That's their job, to foul.
Got a full court press here from Pace Academy. Broken by St. Francis. Brown with the ball on the right side. He is fouled by Durr.
And my favorite thing about breaking the press, that ball did not hit the ground. There were no dribbles in there. It was all passes.
It's been that way throughout. St. Francis done a very good job handling pressure. They've done a really nice job today making decisions with the ball on both the offensive end and the defensive end. You get into difficult situations, not forcing passes, really haven't forced many shots on the defensive end. They did a really nice job of defending without fouling. So it's just a lot of really good things that go into winning a game that you would need to win against a team like Pace.
Brown makes good on the first free throw. Both teams are in the bonus.
I think, we haven't talked about it in a little while, but Brown making those shots early in the game was a huge key to start building a lead till Odom really got going and really took the game over, so to speak. So credit to him. He's done a really nice job. St. Francis dropped back into a 2-3 zone.
Well, this St. Francis team does not even have all of their depth. They're missing Jai Smith and Hunter Jones, both football players. Seth Hubbard's out with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
When they get those 3 guys back, they'll be even better.
Yeah.
Middleton finishes.
Seth Hubbard's a kid who provides some more shooting. And, like Sly says, you bring a couple of football guys back, and that definitely brings back some more, a little bit of a rugged approach, a little bit more depth, ability to go ahead and give fouls, things like that.
St. Francis team not even at full strength, not a whole lot of notable impact from any big, a 5 or a center type player, but Dwon Odom provides the energy. He's got a great supporting cast of guards and wings. This team looks really good to repeat in 1A.
It does, and 1A is, when you're talking about classifications like 1A private, everybody pretty much knows there's a pecking order, and there's 6 to 8 teams that are significantly better than the others, where you have some of that also in 7A, but when you get into those middle classifications, 6, 5, 4, and 3, there's maybe 10, 12, 15 teams that could win the state championship. So it just is very different when it comes down to things like that as we tick down the last 30-some seconds here.
Madison Durr dives on to the scorers table here, trying to make a great hustle play. .32 seconds remain in the game.
I'm looking at this, you're talking about the pecking order of 1A private and, some of that private school pecking order. And I'm looking at St. Francis' schedule coming up, and, you hate to say that, they got an easy schedule. Nothing's easy. But next week they play Wheeler. That'll be a big game at Holiday Hoops Giving. That ought to be a tough one.
Right.
But after that, they don't have They don't have a murderer's row to worry about. To be kind.
You hear me being quiet?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't have a murderer's row to worry about of a schedule, you know. But they do get to go to my home state. They get to go to the Beach Ball Classic down there in Myrtle Beach.
I think Shar is actually trying to get teed up here.
Durr trying to work it in with the right hand.
That right there is when it rains, it pours. It's
one more
showtime.
for the road.
Here comes Odom. A near jam. Trying to go between the legs. 13 seconds to go. Durr. Foul called. Blocking. Count the basket. Blocking foul. Free throw upcoming.
If he would have put this dunk down right here that you're watching, I would have taken my headset off and just walked to my car. That's an in-game between the legs windmill.
He's done it.
He's done it many a time.
He has done it. You know, the guts, I'll say guts because I can't say something else.
To do that.
They attempted.
That's all right.
Kai Simmons will flush it home. Icing on the cupcake here. A fantastic performance for St. Francis. 69-57 is our final score. First, Coach Triaga, your final thoughts.
Yeah, so here's my final thoughts. When you play high school basketball, more times than not, the team that plays better on that particular day wins. And that's what happened tonight. St. Francis was just the better team tonight. Pace is a very good team as well, but just tonight, St. Francis was clearly the better team. Got the double-figure win, and they deserved it.
Yep, and that's the difference between the professionals and high school players, you know. Sometimes it's a team that's just better than the other team, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to win, and that's just what happened tonight.
We thank you all for tuning in to our coverage of the Jared Cook Tip-Off Classic here on the SUV TV network. Alongside Sly Williams and Russ Triaga, I'm Luke Winstel. Thank you for tuning in throughout the day. We have more coming on Monday and Tuesday.